It's a new style for him. You're not just the typical up-and-coming scrapper brawler that's going to get into a fun scrap with Gaethje. There's more intricacies to your game with the grappling as well. So how do you think you're going to get this one done?
I think I finish him wherever the fight goes, to be honest. Obviously, I know he can bang, but every fight we get a breakdown made of our opponent, and it actually shocks me how much he gets hit. And I know he takes one to give one, but you can't really just do that at this level. That's why he's lost to people like Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Charles, because you can't just take one to give one.
Straight into the deep end, and the MMA world is going crazy because Justin Gaethje is not just another opponent. He's a relentless pressure fighter, a certified brawler, and one of the most dangerous lightweights the UFC has ever seen. And now, somehow, Paddy Pimblett is standing right across from him. The reactions were immediate. Fighters, analysts, and fans all weighed in, and the community is split right down the middle.
It could be the next Conor McGregor star.
I want that world title. All laugh all you want and say I'll never be champ. You gang of mushrooms.
Like that kind of a star where the whole
He
world's
has
watching.
that weird personality.
Yes.
Yeah, he has that.
Well, he's very disarming because people, they see, I talked about this in the last pay-per-view. I said it's a very sneaky trick because guys like you look at you, the way you carry yourself, the way you, that's a fighter. Like you look at that guy's a dangerous motherfucker. But when you see Paddy, he's dancing like this, his hair is flopping around like he's in the Beatles.
I expect the war, obviously. Like, Justin Gaethje is one of my favourite fighters to watch. He's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter, and it's going to be a pleasure to get in there with him. I'd love to have a brawl for 5 rounds. As he said, him versus Michael Johnson, how he introduced himself to the UFC. I'd love to have a fight like that, but I don't think it'll pan out that way. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, I'm getting a performance bonus and a fight of the night bonus.
Been swirling that Justin Gaethje is injured. A few videos have surfaced of him diving and cracking heads with someone which wobbled him bad. Do you have any inside information? Have you not heard of this? Okay, actually, I got to be honest. I thought you guys were talking about, I thought he was going to ask about, I saw a bunch of pictures about this thing.
Though, right?
Yeah, the ingrown hair is what he's claiming.
Okay. Right.
Ingrown hair and a bit of brisket. Yeah.
Brisket?
Yeah, a little brisket on the chin.
Because they said he had herpes on his mouth. He's like, I was eating brisket and I had an ingrown hair.
If that is an ingrown hair, that's the gnarliest ingrown hair I've ever seen. That makes like a little red dot on your neck if it's an ingrown hair. He had a crater in his neck. I don't know about
By the way, could you imagine, just for a moment, you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this?
I do know
exactly
where
you're
you're
going.
with this.
Enter Armin.
Yes.
Enter Armin.
Yes, it's time. Now, is Armin ready is the thing.
Nobody walks
some
out
of
to
those videos.
No,
I'm like, oh, fuck. Enter Armin.
Enter Armin. Walking out there eating a fucking turkey leg. I mean, come on.
100
does really well, which is fights out long, right? He uses those kicks up the middle. He's got a good knee that we saw him land against Chandler. And then almost kind of land your points and force Gaethje to try to close the distance, and that's when I would try to wrestle. He looks huge to me in a good way nowadays, Paddy. I'm always impressed. It seems like he's getting fitter and fitter, further and further out from these fights as well. We only see Fat Paddy for a little bit. Gaethje, I think keeping it on the feet, boxing in close, and just trying to murder the legs like he always does is something that he needs to do. I don't know if testing Paddy's jiu-jitsu is the move for Gaethje. So it'll be interesting, man. But I think Paddy's got a goddamn good chance.
On one side, people are calling this a complete disaster for Paddy. On the other, some are arguing it's the perfect fight for him. And that's where the real debate begins. Stylistically, this matchup spells chaos. Justin Gaethje thrives in violent exchanges, heavy leg kicks, constant pressure, and forcing opponents into uncomfortable territory. He wants you moving backward, reacting, and panicking. That's where he does his best work. But Paddy Pimblett doesn't fight like a traditional lightweight.
How does it feel to be the Paramount debut? Is it like a bit of a, they like you? Is it a bit of an honor, or you don't really give a shit about that type of thing?
It is a little bit of an honor, like, obviously, because they trust me with putting on a good show for the first main event in the Paramount era, but it's all about the title, lad. It's all about winning this interim belt. I wouldn't care if I was opening up the main card, lad. As long as I'm fighting for this belt, lad, it's all that matters.
Nice. All right then. This is a big matchup. We've come a long way, Paddy. We've come a long way from Luigi Venturini to Justin Gaethje. Is there any surrealness to it? Like you're actually fighting this guy that you probably, I would imagine was watching before you even got into the UFC. This is fucking Justin, the highlight reel. Gaethje over here. Like,
lad, I can remember watching him fight Nick Newell, lad, the fellow with one arm before he was even in the UFC. You know what I mean? I can remember my teammate, who's now my coach, Adam Ventry, telling me, "Oh, you need to watch this Justin Gaethje, lad. He's unbelievable." And I watched him and was like, "Oh my God, he's sick." So when he had his debut against Michael Johnson, I can remember watching that live, just thinking, "Wow, this fella can bang." But you know, that's the position that you get into in this sport, lad. You've got to end up fighting your heroes, or you're in the wrong game.
Yeah, you've been in this position before against Tony Ferguson. When you're in the cage, it's completely locked in. But is there a moment where you're thinking, like, fucking hell, this is Tony Ferguson, lad? Is there any
You think that before it, like, but when you're in the cage, that's it. I'm just looking at him thinking, "You're trying to stop my dreams. You're trying to take food out of my kids' mouths, so I'm gonna iron you out."
And I heard this yesterday, and I didn't bring it to you because I didn't believe it. I had to confirm it. So Paddy the Baddy just got beat. Paddy the Baddy, as a matter of fact, got submitted. Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? So there's something that goes on in England. This is Paddy's gym. Paddy enters this thing every year. It's called something. And then they have a king of the mat. It's a grappling tournament, but they have this thing, this king of the mat. Paddy was in the finals a year ago, and after an hour, they just stopped the match and called it a draw. So he was a co-champion. So whatever this thing is, it's a thing that matters to him. So he enters it, I guess, over the weekend. I guess. And he ends up getting beat. Now, one of the reasons it's so cool is I don't think you have heard about it. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is there's no other sport where this would happen. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is it doesn't matter. And that's one cool thing about our community. Like, if a guy like Paddy wants to go out there and take a risk and do something like this, he can chalk that up to a tremendous victory. He can also chalk it up to a workout. And you know what? We need to keep it that way. It's one thing that we have done very well as a group, and there's no other sport that's like that. You will never hear of a time that LeBron drops in for a one-on-one with the college star. He just couldn't take the risk. He just simply could not take the risk. This happened when I was a kid. It was to John McEnroe in Oregon. This was before the internet was a thing, but John McEnroe came out and he played somebody. We had some high school star down in, it was down in Eastern Oregon. I want to say maybe Pendleton. At any rate, the guy beat him. Our high school star beat McEnroe, and this was a thing. This was a thing. But it's one of these reasons why you can't ever get that. Like, you were left to believe that the NBA is better than the NCAA. You're led to believe the NFL is better than college football. I'm sure you're right, but there's exceptions, and there's certain positions at certain times where there are exceptions. You will never know. Those guys will never take the risk. They will never take to the field. They will never take to a three-point stance and go, they'll just never do it. On the outside chance that somebody's filming and somebody puts it, it's one of those things. And you get guys that love to compete. I mean, I got one resentment towards our sport. One, which is that we only do it 3 times a year. I mean, I can't even tell you the lack of respect that I have for a guy that misses.
He's awkward. He's loose. He's unpredictable. Paddy's biggest weapon isn't power, it's confidence. He moves forward smiling, absorbs pressure, and turns chaos into momentum. And that's why some people believe he could actually frustrate Gaethje early, pull him into scrambles, and shape this into a fight Justin doesn't want. Others aren't buying it at all. They argue Gaethje's leg kicks alone could shut Paddy down within minutes, that the pressure will be overwhelming, that Paddy's defensive gaps finally get exposed against an elite-level opponent. And that's the fear hanging over this matchup, because if Paddy wins, he doesn't just win a fight. He becomes a legitimate contender overnight. But if he loses badly, the hype train takes a massive hit. This fight isn't just about rankings. It's about legitimacy. It's about whether Paddy Pimblett truly belongs with the killers at the top of the division, or if he's been carefully protected until now. And the UFC knows it. That's why this matchup feels so deliberate. No easy road, no slow build, just straight into the fire. Fans are arguing non-stop. Some believe Paddy's grappling and relentless pace could wear Gaethje down late. Others say Justin's experience in brutal 5-round wars gives him every possible edge. One clean exchange could change everything. One takedown could flip the fight. One mistake could end the night instantly. That's why this fight feels different. No safe outcome, no clear favorite, just pressure, violence, and reputations on the line. Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje isn't just a fight, it's a statement. And when the cage door closes, someone's entire narrative is about to change.